Yeah, hi, I'm Joc Dwyer. I'm farming at Bindoon, 80 kilometres north of Perth. I've got 800 acres of grazing and some reserve bush running beef cattle. On the 800 acres, we've got different qualities of grazing. When I got hold of this property in the late 90s, what I learned from the seminars that I went to and the reading on holistic farm management was that our job is to harvest sunlight. That's the biggest, cheapest input that we can have. One of the rules is not to graze a plant a second time, so the cattle need to be moving in a controlled grazing situation so that we're trying to preserve ground cover, vegetation that then becomes humus for the next season. Grazing in this region is quite good in that we've got reasonable rainfall, but we have high aluminium toxicity because it's an area where the soils are comprised of bauxite, which has the aluminium in it, and high ions. That does limit the growth potential and the carrying capacity. Somehow I took an interest in earthworms. Earthworms really are consuming the microorganisms that are the decayers or the consumers of the detritus. They're actually producing a huge range of microorganisms that the earthworms feed on and then cultivate. So the resulting earthworm vermicast or earthworm excreta or poo is a highly mineralised, highly processed natural fertiliser, and you can easily make a liquid out of that to spray on your crop or inject into your seeding or use it as a seed inoculant. And I'm starting to see an improvement in the quality of the grazing. One of the things that I did discover very early on is that vermicast has quite a high percentage of fulvic acid and humic acid. If you talk to any consultant or read books on agriculture, one of the key things is to have humic acid and fulvic acid in any of your inputs. Normally people have to buy that in, but if you use vermicast, that's a natural humic and fulvic acid product. So you know where your product's coming from, you're saving money, and it's a win-win situation. Talking about the earthworms as my means of fertiliser, behind is the main breeding row or windrow of earthworms, which I use chicken manure or any hay waste when feeding the cows. From this I can make a liquid extract which I use to spray on the pasture, and that's my main form of fertiliser. So I've been running this property for over 20 years, and it's been without chemicals and limited inputs. So I've gone through periods of overgrazing and doing damage to the soil and the ground cover. In the last 3 or 4 years I've been able to spend more time in making foliar sprays, getting the inputs into the grass, and I'm already observing an improvement in the ground cover, the quality of the grass. The cattle are not overgrazing as they would have done before. They're looking better, the meat quality is better, and there is actually topsoil starting to form. It's an improvement, and I'm sure that will compound with time. I have been doing some leaf testing and also soil testing, and I'm finding that the brix levels are going up, although they're still around 6 and 7, and the general mineral balance is much better. So that's an indication we're getting permanent results. Historically, it's been difficult to make money out of these sorts of properties. I'm very encouraged now that I can grow more feed, carry more animals. So that gives me an ambition to keep improving, because I believe we can carry more animals, make this more profitable, which makes the future more promising. I didn't grow up in a farming community. I'm a city boy. And so I had to learn a lot in a hurry. So I encourage everyone to get to as many of the wonderful seminars and lectures that are held in Western Australia every year, and just take plenty of notes, make sure that you mix with everyone and establish networks, because nothing helps you more than somebody with experience that's already done what you're trying to do.